Hello, welcome to another video. As you'll have just seen, I've been out on the bike today and I've just got back from a 2-hour and 15-minute ride. The plan for today was originally to do a speed session on the bike, whereby I was going to do a zone 2 warm-up and then 20 repetitions of 90 seconds on, 90 seconds off, followed by a zone 2 cool down. However, the weather is incredible today. It's windy, it's cold, it is the middle of October, approaching November. However, blue skies, clear day, lovely, so it would be silly not to take advantage of getting out on the bike. Normally, I would do that on the turbo or on the watt bike, which you might just be able to see over my shoulder. However, despite the inconvenience of having to clean the bike and get ready and get out, and obviously the risk of a flat tire or a puncture and having to change it and so on and so forth, it was too good of an opportunity to miss, really, to get outside. I haven't been out on the bike for a very, very long time. I put my carbon tri-bars on to try and get myself familiar with the position of being in that kind of time trial position again, which again, for a very, very long time, I haven't done so. So a little bit twitchy. It took me a bit of time to get used to trying to hug the road with tractors and all sorts of vehicles over my right shoulder. But all in all, a really good ride. If you've ever been out on the bike before and tried to follow a specific training session, particularly an interval training session, you'll probably understand and appreciate how difficult it is to follow a prescription because of the variables that you're exposed to when out on the bike on the road, be it weather, road conditions, traffic, other road users, other cyclists that might get in the way, and also twists and turns and sharp lefts and rights in order to try and navigate to the destination you're cycling to. So generally speaking, my session today was completely off plan. I didn't do the 90 seconds on, 90 seconds off. I just went for a 2-hour and 15 ride out over to Cheshire, Antrobus, sort of Daresbury way, and it was great. It was really enjoyable. Fatiguing, tiring, all the same. Around about 1,500 calories burnt, which is good. That'll certainly help from a weight loss perspective. But yeah, that was that session. Session 1 today, that was. So the plan now is for me to sort my helmet hair out, essentially. So apologies for that. Get changed, get home. I've got around about a 45-50 minute commute. I'm going to see what Abby is doing, my partner at home. She's on nights tonight. However, I'll see what her plan is before she goes to work. And then at some point, after getting some food down me, I'm going to go for session 2, which will be a run. Now, I am training for 7 marathons in 7 days, so my priority has to be running. However, I've opted to do a little bit of volume, a bit of work on the bike throughout the week, purely because I've just dropped my GoPro box. My ultimate goal is to try and gradually increase the distance, the duration, the volume of my running. However, because my body weight is what it is at the moment, and because I've not got an incredibly good aerobic base from spending the last 10 years focusing on weight training, if I increase my running volume too quickly, too soon, too drastically, then I'm going to put myself at risk of injury. I'm going to put myself at risk of burning out, shin splints, things like compartment syndrome, issues with the Achilles, the calf, the shin, tibialis anterior, the knee, foot, blah, blah, blah. And over the last couple of weeks, from increasing my volume, I have experienced some aches and pains. So increasing the volume, the frequency, the number of hours that I'm training is kind of non-negotiable, because I need to get myself to the point where in 12 weeks' time I'm ready to run 7 marathons in 7 days. However, I'm trying to be relatively wise about it and doing more volume, more distance on the bike in order to try and speed up the weight gain process so that I can gradually increase my running sufficiently without the risk of injury. So that was the reason why I'm on the bike. However, my session later is going to be a run. The run session, I will stick to the program, and today's session is a threshold session. So that is going to consist of a 10, 15, 20 minute zone 2 warm up into 3 lots of 15 minutes at threshold pace with around 2 or 3 minutes recovery in between, followed by 15, 20 minute or thereabout zone 2 cool down. Now, a threshold session essentially is me spending 15 minutes running in and around about 5K pace. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a hard session. It's going to be intense. And my purpose for using threshold sessions are that it kind of bridges the gap between my speed sessions that I do, where I'm running much faster for 60, 90 seconds, maybe 2 400 meter, 800 meter distance runs, It bridges the gap between those faster sessions and the longer stuff that obviously is my priority. My priority, of course, has to be long, sustained, low heart rate runs, because that's ultimately the sport itself, marathon running. The issue ultimately with the threshold sessions, that they feel hard in a good way. They feel like you've trained. They feel like you've achieved something. It feels like a really decent training session. However, they are incredibly fatiguing, so you have to be careful that you don't do too much too soon. My purpose for it, as I've already said just seconds ago, is that it bridges the gap between the faster and the slower stuff. But I do have to be mindful that it's very fatiguing, so it's something I only tend to do once a week. So that's the session later on. You may see over this shoulder a box that was delivered yesterday from Pulse Roll. Around about 18 months, 2 years ago, Pulse Roll very kindly sent me one of their pro massage guns. At the time, I was working with a couple of professional ATP tennis players. I was doing a little bit of stuff on social media, so they very, very kindly sent one of those massage guns out for nothing at all. Not sponsored, not paid whatsoever, but I did a little bit of review video for them around about, I think it was 12 months, maybe 13, 14 months ago. I now work in motorsport, I work in rally, and the massage gun has become an incredibly useful tool as part of one of my responsibilities of looking after the welfare and well-being and the performance of the driver. The driver I work with is amputated below the knee on one side. He has had a serious knee operation on his other leg. He's got a false hip, he's got back issues, so on and so forth. So the massage gun over the last sort of 12 months or so has become an incredibly useful, handy tool to have to be able to help me treat, facilitate his well-being, get him on the massage bed in between using my hands for sports massage and other treatments and manipulation and training. The massage gun has become incredible. However, a couple of weeks ago, unfortunately, one of the parts internally broke and snapped and it no longer worked. So I got in touch with Pulse Roll about a week ago, maybe less than, just to see if there was an opportunity for them to either fix it or me to send it to them and them have a little look at it and see what they could do. However, instead, without any question at all, they very, very kindly just sent me another one out, and that was delivered yesterday. So I mention that because if you keep your eyes out, I will be doing a video on YouTube in the next week or so to do a review of the product. Again, I'm not sponsored, not paid whatsoever. They've not asked me to do one. However, just out of courtesy for their generosity, I thought I would do a review of that product because it is incredible. I'm not going to be biased. I have no reason to be biased. I will give my honest opinion in comparison to some other products that's similar that I've come across over the years, but look out for that on the YouTube channel. Anyway, that's it from me from now. I'm going to head back, 45, 50-minute commute back home. Again, I'll grab something to eat. It might be dark when I get out for the run later on, but I am going to get that second session in. I'll take you guys with me and get some footage. But for now, again, appreciate you watching. Please, the whole purpose of me doing this is ultimately to raise awareness and raise funds for Alder Hey Children's Hospital, particularly the epilepsy unit within the hospital, because of the care and treatment that they've offered my niece with epilepsy, who was diagnosed when she was 10 months old, the resultant brain surgery she's getting in a couple of months, etc. So again, similar to the other day, we're currently at around about £1,743, I think exactly. So if you're in a position to do so, please do donate. It would be incredibly appreciated by everybody involved. My family, Emily's mum, Emily's nursery, who've been involved and helped raise money through a few other events. I'll put the link to my GoFundMe page in the description below, so please go to that if you can. Any small donation, £1 would be incredibly appreciated. Every little helps. But that's it from me for now. I'm going to get back. I will see you guys later when I take you along the ride for my second session of the day.
Righteous man, I bow my heart for the woman I will meet his hand, and for the children of a lost man. You're drinking dirty water, choking on your words, poison by the way.
Okay, so session 2 of the day done. Absolutely hanging out after that one. I made the mistake, I made the right decision, although I'm now suffering from it, if you like, to get home after driving about 50 minutes, a little bit longer in the car because of traffic due to rush hour. As I said earlier in the video, my partner Abby, she works nights, so she left for work at 9 o'clock tonight. So after getting in and around about 6:30, 7 o'clock, I made the decision to, rather than get out and go for the run, to spend a couple of hours with her and have some tea together, which obviously was the right thing to do. However, in doing so, my back and my legs completely stiffened up. So even though the session today on the bike wasn't overly significant, in general, it was a pretty easy ride. It was only a little over 2 hours, and my power output, based on the data collected from the power meter that I use, wasn't overly significant whatsoever. So it was generally easy ride. I think it was just the fact that I sat down for a couple of hours. I spent a bit of time in the car, not necessarily great posturally. Because I only started my run tonight in and around about 9:30 at night, I didn't warm up as effectively as what I should have done, or at least what I would advise the people, the athletes, the clients that I work with should do anyway. So a bit of a hypocrite there. However, silver lining, positive note, a session similar, a threshold session that I did this time 2 weeks ago, I really struggled with for various reasons, largely because of lack of sleep and lack of recovery. I felt a lot better today. So although I was experiencing a bit of pain in the Achilles and the calf on the steeper hills during tonight's run, generally speaking, it was fine. I was okay. My legs were fine. I managed to hold the pace that I wanted to hold during the 15-minute intervals. So around about an hour and 18 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes in total, there or thereabouts. Over 1,000 calories burnt on that session. So cumulatively over those 2 sessions I've done today, I've done over 2,500 calories, which is great. I definitely need to get some calories back now and have something to eat before I go to bed. 3 lots of 15 minutes, a 2-minute recovery in between, a relatively slow but extensive warm up and cool down at the end. So an hour and 18 minutes in the bag. I do need to go to bed. It is now 32 minutes past 11 at night. I am up just before 5 o'clock in the morning to get to work tomorrow. However, I am aware from recent experiences that if I just go to bed and I don't do anything at all in terms of replenish some calories and do some form of mobility and recovery, then I will probably wake up at night in a bit of cramp, in a bit of fatigue, a bit of soreness, and I will be knackered tomorrow. And I am aware that I've got a big run tomorrow. I've got a steady state run tomorrow that I need to do. So I do need to be sort of conscious of that. So before I get my head down, I am going to spend 20 minutes in the Normatec compression boots, which I'm very lucky to have access to. And I'll probably spend 10-15 minutes just running over my legs with the pulse roll massage gun that, as I said earlier, they very kindly sent me yesterday. As well as getting a little bit of food. That's definitely on the cards too. But all in all, a great day, positive, very, very productive. The main point I want to make before we finish really and end the video is just to reiterate the reasons why I'm doing this 7 marathons in 7 days event in January. And that is to raise money for Alder Hey Children's Hospital on behalf of my niece Emily, who's been under their care since 2017 when she was 10 months old. And it is highly likely, based on just a few results that we're waiting for at the moment, that they're going to be scheduling some form of brain surgery early next year. So obviously, incredible cause, an incredible charity. I believe the hospital alone sees 900 children a day or thereabouts. I do need to look into those statistics, but I think speaking to the guy who runs the Instagram page for Alder Hey Charity, that's what he said to me, certainly. Which is an incredible number. So if you are in a position to do so, it would be incredibly appreciated. All of those involved, myself, my partner, Emily, Emily's mum, my mum, Emily's nursery, who've also been involved in some of the fundraising events so far, would be incredibly grateful if you could sponsor the event by donating. As always, I'll put my link to my GoFundMe page in the description below. And as I said in the previous video, if you cannot sponsor, you don't want to sponsor, there's other charities that mean more to you, which I understand, then you would really, really help us out by sharing these posts, whether it be sharing this video or going across to my social media pages, particularly my Instagram, Carl_Cheshire Barbell, and sharing some of the posts that I put on there, arguably more regularly than I do YouTube videos, and sharing those to your story. Because again, as I said the other day, it might just so happen that one of your family members, acquaintances, colleagues, friends might relate to the charity. They may have had experience with them in the past themselves, whether that be children of their own or them themselves, and they would like to help out and sponsor too. So if you can sponsor us or alternatively share these posts, it would be incredibly appreciated. But I'm going to go and get myself sorted. I'm going to do a little bit of recovery. I'm going to get my head down, and I will see you guys again on another day.